I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful kimono shirt top. It's a two-piece right here, as you can see. The kimono top is smoked or shirred, as you can see right here, and the skirt piece is a little bit ballooned. I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to sewing this beautiful kimono shirt top you are seeing right here. So this is the shirred or the smoky part of this kimono top, and this is what the front piece looks like. So you can see it looks so beautiful. Here is the skirt piece. You can see the front part of this top has a little overlapping, as you can see right here, and the skirt has an elastic as well. I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to sewing this beautiful shirt top. It's a two-piece, like I said before. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I'll encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn how this beautiful top is made. Thank you. So let's dive into this tutorial right away. My fabric is Ankara fabric, and I use 3.5 yards for the two-piece. I use 1.5 yards for the top and 2 or 2.5 yards for the skirt. So I have a whole 6 yards of Ankara piece right here. So I'll just open it up and cut out. After opening up my fabric, here is the 45 inches length. This is the yardage length. So just go ahead and place your fabric on fold. You are going to place it on fold using your shoulder to under bust measurement. Then you add 1 inch to it. My shoulder to my under bust is 14 inches. I added 1 inch to it, making it 15 inches. So I placed this fabric on fold at 15 inches. Next, I'm going to cut that fabric to the end as shown. Then you are going to place it on fold to the end, as you can see me do right here. This is the upper part of this kimono top, and here is the center front and center back. Next, you are going to place your shoulder divide by 2. Mine is 8 inches. Then you are going to place your sleeve length. So this sleeve length is optional. You can make it any figure of your choice. But for me, I'm going to use 12 inches for this sleeve length. At this point, I'm going to rule a straight line all the way down. After that, you are going to take your sleeve opening. I'm using 11 inches for my sleeve opening. So I'll just mark 11 inches. And at that point, I'll draw a line inwards that way. So on that line, I'm going to measure my round waist measurement. Round waist divide by 4. Mine is 9.5. Then you add 5 inches to it. Altogether, I have 14.5. So I'll place that 14.5 at the down part like this, just to get a straight line. Then at this point, I'm going to connect the kimono curve. So this is the shape you are going to have for this. So I decided to add 1.5 inches on the sleeve. That is for the hemming of the sleeve, as you can see. Coming back to the neckline, on the folded part, I'm going to mark 3.5 inches as my neck width. 3.5 inches. Neck depth is 1 inch. This is for the back neckline. For the front neckline, you just go all the way down. At that point, just measure 1 inch as shown. Then connect that 1 inch to the 3.5 inches neckline this way. So this is it, and we are done with this. Next, we are going to cut it out. This is me cutting out. I'll go through the kimono curve, as you can see, to the sleeve line this way. After that is done, I'm going to cut out only the back neckline, Then I'm going to open up this way so we can cut out the front neckline. After arranging it appropriately, I'm going to cut out the front neckline this way. I'll take it all the way down as shown. So this is what it looks like. Next, you are going to take the measurement of what you have on the round neckline for your collar. I got 18 inches. So place a notch at the center back. Next, we are going to cut out the collar. I'll bring back my fabric as you can see. Then I'm going to place it on fold this way. We want to cut out the collar. So after placing it on fold, that is the remaining part of the fabric. The measurement of the length on fold is 20 inches. I measured 18 inches, but I added 2 inches to it. So this is 20 inches. Now the width of the collar is 5 inches. So you just go ahead and cut 5 inches all the way down. Now this is my collar, 20 inches length on fold, and the width is 5 inches. This is the wrong part of this collar. You are going to place it on fold this way. You can decide to stay or you can just fold it that way. I will just make a crease line on it by ironing it down a little bit. So I decided to reduce the collar. The collar on fold is 2.5, but I want to make it 2 inches. So I decided to cut out the 1/2 inch all the way down. My collar width is 2 inches on fold. Next, we are going to sew the collar to the neckline. This is the wrong side. I'm going to place the center back of the collar to the center back of the top. I'll just secure it with my pin, go over to the machine and sew down. After sewing, this is what I got. So just go ahead and cut out the excess. That is normal. Of course, you know how to sew your collar. At this point, we are going to have a little overlapping. So you just go ahead and overlap the way you see me overlap and secure with your pin. But then you have to check your neckline so you don't expose your bust area, okay, that much. So here I have 11 inches. Just measure your neckline. You can make it 9, you can make it 10 inches. So to achieve this neckline without exposing your bust, you overlap it a little beyond the collar width. You can see how I did that. So if I measure now, I have 10 inches. So 10 inches is fine. If you want to make it a little bit, you can see how I moved it again. So if I measure, I'll have 9 inches, just like that. But then I will just leave it at the 10 inches I measured. I think is okay, and that is what you saw at the beginning of the video. So I'll just go ahead and top stitch. After top stitching, I'm going to hem my sleeve this way. This is the top stitching and this is my sleeve. I've hemmed them. I'm going to set this upper part aside right now. We move over to the shirt part. For the down part, I will go ahead and bring back the remaining part of my Ankara fabric. Place it on the first fold this way. Next, we are going to create 1/2 inch border line. I'll mark 1/2 inch border line as shown. Then you are going to place your tape on the border line at 14 inches, which is your under bust. Then mark 22 inches, which is the full length. Then add 2 inches for the shrinking of this fabric and for the hemming of the down parts. Okay. At the border line, you are going to place your tape on the border line and mark your waist circumference divided by 4. Mine is 9.5. Then add 5 inches to it. Altogether, I have 14.5. So this 14.5 is what we measured at the kimono part. So you just draw a squared line this way. This is only one piece for the front. Then I'm going to place it on top of the other one this way. And I'm going to also follow the shape and cut it out. One piece is going to serve as the front for the shirt part and the other will serve as the back piece. So it's time for us to start shirring these parts. I'm going to mark the wrong sides first. After marking the wrong sides, this is the front and this is the back. Next, we are going to start shirring this. The first thing you are going to do is to mark 1 inch on top. So this 1 inch is going to be the hemming allowance for the down parts. So you just rule a line across this way. So whatever I do on this one piece for the back, I'll also do the same for the front piece. I believe you understand. Next, on the other end, I'm going to mark half inch, half inch. So this half inch is the joining allowance of this shirt part to the kimono part. After marking these two lines, this is the upper part. We'll begin to mark the lines that we are going to share. So I'm marking half inch as shown. After marking the half inch, I'm going to use a straight rule this way. I'm going to mark it all the way down. This is me at the end of it right now. So you just have to take your time to mark this all the way down before sharing. Next, we are going to hem that 1 inch part, which is the down part. Go ahead and hem it. This is what I got after I'm done hemming the down part, as you can see. Next, we are going to reel the elastic thread. Here is my elastic thread. Next, you are going to use your hand to reel the thread, okay, on the reel, as you can see. Please don't stretch the elastic while doing this, and don't fool the reel as well. I'll just go ahead and get it to an extent this way, then cut it out. Here is my shuttle right now, so I'll go ahead and insert it on the shuttle. So if you notice very well, you can see it's not entering. You use your little screwdriver, open it up, just loosen it up a little bit this way. Just loosen it till the thread enters like this, not too loose, okay, and it should not be too tight as well. So after fixing the shuttle, the thread to the shuttle, then we are going to pass it to the under of the machine, as you usually do on your normal thread this way. So this is it. I'll just pass it this way. So on top of your machine, you have your normal thread, okay? The upper part has the normal thread, while the down part has the elastic, okay? So we'll begin to share right now. I'm going to follow the lines I marked, as you can see. I'll stitch all the way to the end as shown. Once you get to the end, instead of cutting out your thread, just turn it, continue, don't cut your thread, just continue on the next line. Once you get to the next line like this, you just turn it again and continue to the next line. So that is how I'm going to sew till I finish up all these lines. You can see I'm done smoking the both of them, the front and the back piece. Next, we are going to place the front piece right side to the front piece of the kimono as shown. So you just start from the beginning and keep stretching it. Here on the machine, this is how I'm going to stitch. So I'll stitch like this. I'll keep the shirt part on top, so I'll be able to drag it this way. So I'll keep dragging it till I get to the end of it. So as you are dragging the shirt part, you know it's the same measurement with the kimono part. So everything will match up accordingly. This is me. I've gotten to the end of it, as you can see. And this is what I got right here when you open it up. So I'll go over to the other end, which is the back. We are going to also place the shirt part right side to right side and stitch in half an inch like I did for the front. I've gradually come to the end of stitching the back as well. So this is what I have for the two of them. So I've joined the shirt part on both of them this way. So if you measure, you are going to have exactly your waist divide by 4, okay? So just put it together this way and then sew in 3/4 of an inch, okay? 3/4 of an inch is 0.75 inches all the way down. After stitching, don't forget to notch the curvy part for ease, okay? The curvy kimono part, notch it this way. And this is what we got at the end of the day. So you can see this top looks very beautiful. So we want to jump over to the skirt piece. For the skirt part, I decided to cut my lining first. So I'm going to place this on fold. This is a 60 inches length. Place it on fold of 17 inches. So 17 inches is the length I'm using for this skirt. You know it's a balloon skirt, so the lining has to be shorter. So I place it on fold at 17 inches first. After that, you are going to place it on another fold using your hip circumference. Your hip circumference divide by 4. My hip circumference divide by 4 here. I marked 12 inches. Then I added 5 more inches to it, making it 17. But at the later thought, I just added 7 inches to my hip circumference divide by 4 because this skirt is supposed to have an elastic on the waistline and it needs to be very, very free. It does not have a zipper. So here I've cut it out using my hip circumference divide by 4 plus 7 inches. So I'll just open up like this. One will be for front and one will be for the back. After cutting out the lining, we are going to cut out the Ankara fabric itself. So here is the 45 inches length and this is the remaining Ankara fabric from the 3.5 yards we used. So I'm going to place it on fold this way. From the beginning of the fabric, after placing it on fold, measure your round waist measurement, your full round waist measurement. Mine is 38 inches. Then you are going to add 18 inches to whatever your round waist is. No matter your measurement, just go ahead and add 18 more inches to it. So at this point of 18 more inches I added to my round waist. From the beginning I started my measurement. I'm going to cut it out as shown. Next, you also open up the folded part so we can have the front and the back just like we did on the lining piece. Don't forget to mark the wrong parts of this dress, okay? So it will be easy for you to identify. For the skirt, I'll put one side together and stitch. After stitching, this is what I got. So you can see I have a very long piece for the skirts. For the lining, I'll also put it together and stitch, and I have my lining as one piece, as you can see too. So we are going to pleat in the skirt this way. So the down part of the skirt, I'm using the printed part. So I'm laying it right side to right side. So the first thing you are going to do before you pleat right here, the first I'm going to do is to pin that center part I stitched. For the lining and for the fabric, make sure you secure with your pin before pleating. Here on the machine you can see me pleating in. So there is nothing serious with this pleat, honestly. You just have to go ahead and keep pleating. The most important part of this skirt is that you need to make sure that that joining matches for the lining and for the fabric. So as you are pleating, the center joining will serve as a guide. So this is me getting to the center joining as shown. The center joining matches, just go ahead and pleat all the way down. I have gotten to the end of it, as you can see right here. So this is it, and we are going to move over to the next step. This is exactly what I pleated. You can see that. So after you are done pleating, the next you will do is to open it up this way. We are going to match it right side to right side, starting from that junction to meet up with this other one. Then you are going to secure with your pin and stitch 1 inch all the way down. After stitching, then you are going to match each end of the lining to each end of the fabric this way. Secure with your pin. After matching it up like this, I'm also going to pick up the other end, match it up and secure with my pin. After pinning, you can see we have many or plenty excesses on the fabric, on the main fabric. So we'll go over to the machine right now to pleat it in. This is how you are going to pleat it in. The Ankara fabric is going to be on top this way. So you keep pleating in. There is no actual measurement for this. Just keep pleating anyhow, okay? Just keep pleating. You can see how I'm pleating till I get to the end of it. There's nothing much to this pleating. Just keep pleating and make sure all the Ankara fabric matches with the lining. So this is what I got at the end of the day after pleating the upper part. And it's going to give you this shape or this kind of balloon skirt this way. So we'll just create the elastic band. For the elastic band, I brought back the remaining part of my 3.5 yards of Ankara fabric. I'll place it on fold this way. The elastic band measures 5 inches. I kept marking 5 inches till I get to the end of the Ankara length, which is 45 inches this way. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out as shown. The band I'm cutting out is for the elastic band. So I'll just go ahead and place it on another fold. So we'll be able to measure exactly what we have on the lining. So you measure your hip divide by 4. Remember that was what we have on the lining. Hip divide by 4. Mine gave me 12 inches. Then I'm going to add 7 more inches to it, making everything a total of 19 inches. After you are done cutting out, you are going to separate the folded part because we are going to join it together to form the front and back piece of the elastic band. Here is the wrong size of the band. Next, you are going to place them on fold and stitch 1/2 inch. This is what I got after stitching. So I'll place it on fold like this and give it a good press just to create a crease line. After pressing it down, I've created a crease line as shown. Next, you open it up and place right side to right side. Next, I will secure that part with my pin as shown. At this point, we are going to mark out the crease line. Then we are going to stitch 1/2 inch all the way to that crease line. From the center line, mark 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 4 lines as you can see at 1/2 inch. Then you close up 1, open up 1, close up 1 like that. You can see how I closed it up, and that is how I'm going to stitch accordingly. So here on the machine, I'm going to stitch close up to the first line. You can see I jumped the other line and stitch just the way I chalked it. That is how I'm top stitching on them. So here is it. I'll cut out the thread where I did not stitch. That is where we are going to pass the elastic. After that, we will open it up. And these are the openings of the elastic. You can see that. So this is where we are going to pass our elastic. We have 2 holes at that point. Next, we are going to spread open the seam allowance. Then you are going to top stitch down as shown. After top stitching on one end, I'm also going to top stitch the other end. So this is for ease of passing the elastic. This is what I got right here. So I'm going to fold it again. These are the holes. So the holes is going to be on the inside of the band. The next we want to do now is to start marking the elastic lines. So I'll place it on fold on the holes like this. And we are going to mark 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch like we marked before. Just mark 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch this way. We'll keep marking it till we get to the end of it. Next, we are going to rule a straight line all the way, connecting all the 1/2 inch lines. Here I have gradually marked all the lines as you can see. You can also turn the back of it and also mark the lines if you want. But I'll go over to the machine to follow the lines to stitch now. So you can see the holes of the elastic. I'll run my stitches from one end till I get to the other end. So I've gradually continued running till I got to the other end to meet up where I started. So that is how I stitched all the 4 lines. It's time to insert our elastic. So my elastic is 2 piece I'm inserting. I removed 4 inches from my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 38. I took away 4 inches, so I have 34 inches. I'm going to use my safety pin right now. I'm going to pass through the first line this way. I'm going to take it all the way to the other end. Once you get to the other end, just bring it out this way, put them together, and then secure the elastic as shown. So this is what I got. I'm going to stretch it so the elastic passes in very well. Next, I will go ahead to pass on the second hole. So I will insert it the way I did on the first one. After inserting the elastics, this is what I got. I'll bring in the waist of the skirt. You are going to secure the sides this way, the part we have our stitches, making sure the elastic part is on the wrong side or on the inside, the part that have the opening. So after you secure that one side, you go ahead and secure the other end as well. We'll go over to the machine to stitch. This is how you are going to stitch while you are on your machine. The elastic part will be on top, and you just go ahead and stretch everything in till you get to the other end. So I'll keep stitching while I stretch this way. So I kept stitching and stretching, as you can see. I'll do that till I get to where I started. I'll gradually come to the end of it, as you can see. So this is what I got at the end of the day. Make sure you also weave the rough sides, okay? Take it to the serger and weave. And that is how we'll come to the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.